Padi pranipatena pariparshnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam kanina tatadarshina. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dhammanta sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the bona fide spiritual master, but one should also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Data Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadnya Deshatarine. So, my dear Prabhus and Madhajis, we're now seated here below the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He reasons ill who tell that Vaishnavas die, because thou art living still in sound and living try to spread the holy name around. So someone may think that Prabhupada has departed. We say Prabhupada departed, don't we? But actually Prabhupada did not depart. Only the body departed. But Srila Prabhupada is just as present here today as he was in the early 70s when he was physically manifested. So, the secret of success in spiritual life is we had to learn how to connect with Srila Prabhupada. Many disciples got so much personal association, the morning walks, the darshan, spending hours and hours with Srila Prabhupada. The biggies, sannyasis, GBCs, they get so much association. Some of us small fries like me, very little association physically. So I learned as a disciple of Prabhupada how to connect with him through sound vibration, you see. So for me, it's no difference now than it was then. I connect with Prabhupada through his instructions, not through physical presence. He gave me the most wonderful instruction when I was a young brahmachari back in 71. So wonderful instruction. He said, I see you're a very sincere and enthusiastic boy, eager to push forward this movement. He said, now continue enthusiastically as you were doing, and surely Krishna will bless you. So for me, it wasn't the physical presence, it was holding on to those instructions, you see. So when Prabhupada was here, I held on to that instruction, and Prabhupada's not here. For me, Prabhupada is still here, you see. Because that, for me, that instruction is Prabhupada. Continue enthusiastically as you are doing, and surely Krishna will bless you. Well, I'm very enthusiastic to be here today speaking to you wonderful Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. So I'm fired up. We used to have a saying in the old days in ISKCON, fired up and fried out. Are you fired up or fried out, you see? Prabhu, I'm fried. Sometimes the Brahmin say, Prabhu, I'm fried. So don't be fried, be fired up, you see. Always have enthusiasm. Yes, Prabhupada gave me this instruction, and this instruction will liberate me from this material existence. Prabhupada's instructions are not ordinary sound vibrations. Prabhupada's instructions liberate us. They take us to another dimension beyond time and space, into that transcendental dimension where there's no birth, no death, no old age, and no disease. Where there's no adhyatmic, adhibodhic, and abhidaisic misery. So, my dear Prabhus and Manajis, we can enter right now, at this very minute, we can enter that transcendental dimension. You don't have to be stuck here in Malaysia in a material body. We can be in the spiritual world with Krishna right now in his transcendental pastimes. We sing that nice song, isn't it? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballava Giri Varadari Jushoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Kunja Jamunatira Vanachari, you see. That song is actually a window into the spiritual world. And if we actually tune into that song with focus, with feelings, with devotion, we can actually jump through the window, you see. You can actually enter the spiritual world singing that bhajan, Jayavana Madhava, you see. I don't care if you got a male body or a female body, I don't care if you're a young body or an old senior citizen body, it doesn't matter at all what kind of body you got, male, female, Malaysian, Chinese, American, doesn't matter. What kind of body you have, if you take this sound vibration, it's like a transcendental spaceship. Jump on the spaceship of transcendental sound vibration, it will carry you beyond the material existence immediately. Immediately, you see. So we have to learn how to tune in, turn on, and bliss out. You see. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the bona fide spiritual master is that person who purely represents what he got from his spiritual master. The original spiritual master is Krishna himself. He enlightened Brahmaji. Brahmaji shared with us his wonderful enlightenment, especially those Govinda prayers. Wow, pretty amazing stuff, you see. Premanjana charita bhakti valochanena santaksareva hirjavyoshya balokayanki yang shama shundarama chintya ganasvarupam govindamani purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda the primeval Lord of Shama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love. Can you imagine the realization Brahmaji had? Actually, he was a conditioned soul who took birth here because of his desire to lord it over the material nature. But then he was blessed with spiritual realization, and he actually could see and experience the whole spiritual world, and he put it in beautiful poetry, Brahma Samhita. You see. So just see the inconceivable nectar that is revealed to us by Brahmaji, the head of our sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. He revealed his realizations to Narada, Narada to Vyas, Narada to Madhvyadvacharya, coming down to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the six Goswamis, down, Srinivasacharya, you see, all the way down to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and our beloved Srila Prabhupada. And now we are bringing the same thing to you here today, you see. It's coming down the pure transcendental sound vibration. There's no difference if someone is purely presenting Prabhupada's teachings. There's no difference hearing from them or hearing from Prabhupada. It's the same thing, you see. If somebody mails you a check for $1,000, it's the $1,000 where it comes from the original person who wrote the check, or it comes from the postman. It's the same $1,000. You understand this point? Do you understand it's the same $1,000? Whether it's the person who wrote the check, the one who's handing you the check, it's $1,000, it's $1,000, you see. So Krishna Bhakti is coming down from these great, great personalities. And that person who gives it to you purely without addition or subtraction, he is the bona fide spiritual master. So we hear from the bona fide spiritual master, we take his instructions very seriously, try to please him by our proper hearing attitude. It all begins with hearing, you see. How did Prabhupada convince all those hippies to become devotees, you see? But they heard from Srila Prabhupada, you see. There was two things, hearing from him and his wonderful relationship he had with him. Nobody ever loved us like Prabhupada did, you see. We'd had love from our parents, from our friends, from our dog or whatever, you see. But no one had ever given us that kind of love we got from Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave us the pure love of Krishna. It was coming through Prabhupada, that pure love of Krishna, you see. Before that, it was simply so-called love. Lust. It was simply lust, you see. That's what really convinced me, you see. When I heard the London devotees, I heard a recording of the London devotees. Samsara dava nalalida loka Shranaya karyunya gana ganadvam praptasya kalyana gunadavasya vande guroshi charanada vindam. They had tasted that love, they had experienced, they were empowered by the love that came from Prabhupada. And now they wanted to reciprocate with Prabhupada by giving them. Prabhupada gave his love to them, and they wanted to give their love now to Prabhupada. So when I heard that singing, is the London devotees, Jamuna, Gurudas, Janaki, Mukunda, Shama Sundar, and Malachi. It was the most sweet, wonderful thing I'd ever heard in my life. I like the process, I like the chanting, but I want to be a congregational member. Don't get too much into it, right? Be a congregational member, but not one of those initiated devotees. Are you kidding? Fully into the spiritual master's order? No way. I wasn't ready for it. It was too much. But when I heard that those London devotees singing, giving their love to Prabhupada, it melted my heart. Wow, this is amazing stuff. I never experienced love, but I heard the way they were singing for Prabhupada with such pure feeling, with such overwhelming, ecstatic love for Prabhupada. I went, wow. I immediately thought, wouldn't it be beautiful if I gave my love to Prabhupada? And the tears came stringing down. When can I get initiated? You see? Because you can't give love like that, not from your wife, your kids, your dog, or whatever. You can't get love like that in the material world. It does not exist. This is kama desha. This is a world of lust. We say I love you, but how can I get my gratification out of you, right? There's no love. There is no love in this material world. It's simply lust. That's all. It's simply lust masqueraded as love. I love you, honey. I mean, it's just disgusting, actually. It's disgusting. There's no real love here. But when you come to a personality like Prabhupada, who actually gave his love to those devotees, there's one pastime, that little tiny storefront at 26th Avenue, one boy wanted to leave. One of those hippies wanted to leave. And you know what Prabhupada was crying. One of the hippies wanted to leave. He started crying. Can you imagine the love of Prabhupada? He was crying because one of those hippie boys wanted to leave. Prabhupada was crying. Can you imagine that love? Can you imagine that love? Some hippie wanted to leave. Prabhupada was crying. Can you imagine the love of Prabhupada? One of the amazing things I've noticed about Prabhupada was, when I joined, there was, maybe 5,000 disciples, right? And but what I noticed was the amazing thing that Prabhupada treated every disciple like he or she was the most important person in the whole world. He treated every single disciple as if he or she was the most important person in the whole world. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? The way that Prabhupada reciprocated, can you imagine this? Can you, Prabhus and Manasis, can you understand how Prabhupada gave his love so unconditionally to every single disciple? I had one experience after the Bhakti Yatra. The first time I saw him was the Bhakti Yatra in 71 in Frisco, San Francisco, in a Golden Gate Park. And then after that, Prabhupada came down to Los Angeles. There was the most amazing thing we did. Every morning, Prabhupada, the famous morning walks, right? Prabhupada would go on the morning walk, and then he'd come back to the temple, and it was really sweet, actually, very sweet. We'd all line up along the sidewalk. Maybe only 30 or 40 devotees. We'd line up along the sidewalk, Jai. Jagannatha Mandir, Subhadra Gurnata, Shishubhadra Krishna ki Jai. So, we'd all stand up down. See, Prabhupada's quarters was around the side, up the stairs. So he'd get out of the car, he'd walk down the sidewalk, go in front of the building, and then go up the side of the building, up the stairs. So we would line up with every devotee had a flower in their hand. Every devotee was given a flower. And then Prabhupada would come down the line with a basket of flowers, and you had your own one-on-one moment with Prabhupada. You would give Prabhupada a flower, and he had to, just imagine, you had that one moment, just you and Prabhupada, that's all, just you and Prabhupada exchanging flowers with each other. Can you imagine? Have a video of that, and see that moment, you and Prabhupada, just the two of you were exchanging flowers with each other. So anyway, Prabhupada came down, I was about number 3 in the line. Now I had a flower from Prabhupada. Oh, I got a flower from Prabhupada. Oh, Prabhupada directly gave me this flower. Oh, it's like perfection of existence, worth than $10 billion. I have a flower that Prabhupada gave me. Wow. And anyway, he went down the line. Now, there's something I call this, try to understand this. When you actually can be there with Prabhupada, you see, I call it drinking Prabhupada into your heart through your eyes. Drinking Prabhupada into your heart through your eyes. So when Prabhupada came, he finished the flower line. He's walking in front of the building to go to the side of the building to his quarters. So I stood up on a little stair just so I could see Prabhupada walking on the way to his quarters, so I could drink Prabhupada into my heart through my eyes. So Prabhupada looked up at me. I was just some bhakta, not initiated, some wild character from Texas. Prabhupada looks up at me. He saw me up there, standing there, all alone on the steps. And Prabhupada wondered, did this boy get a flower or not yet? He looked up to me in little body language. Did you get one yet? Body language, no words, just body language. Like, did you get one yet? He held up like that. Did you get one yet? And I held up, yes. I just held up, yes, Prabhupada got the flower. So he singled me out from all those big crowd of devotees just to make sure I'd gotten the flower, you see. I wasn't a sannyasi, not even initiated. I wasn't a temple president, just some rank and file bhakta, you know. And Prabhupada singled me out to make sure I had gotten my flower. So Prabhupada had that feeling for every single disciple, that every single disciple or aspiring disciple was the most important person in the whole world. You see. So that's the amazing quality. You say, well, how is that possible? Well, I can tell you exactly how it's possible. Prabhupada is the pure representative of Krishna, right? Well, how did Krishna reveal, how did Krishna associate with each gopi and each queen and worker? Every queen was the most important queen because he went to her palace that night. And she was thinking, wow, I'm the most important queen. Those poor other queens, 16,000, 18,000? How many? 16,108? Wow, those poor other 16,807 other queens, they're just waiting for Krishna to come to their palace. But he's coming to my palace every night. I'm the most favorite queen. So that quality of every queen experiencing she's the most important of all the queens, Prabhupada dealt with every disciple like that too. You see. Every disciple is the most important disciple. You see. So you can imagine reciprocating with such a personality who gave everything to you, as if you're the most important of all the disciples. That's how Prabhupada dealt with every single disciple. So the bona fide spiritual master, he represents Krishna's mood of taking every single devotee, the most important devotee. So when you have someone who fully gives, who totally gives every bit of his love to you, what do you feel? Well, let me give all of my love to him, you see. So in this way, devotees were captured by Prabhupada's love. No one ever loved me like this. My parents, my girlfriend, my dog, my school, whatever. No one ever loved me like this. So I must give all my love to this person, you see. This is how Prabhupada captured us. No one loved us like this, and therefore we gave all our love to Prabhupada. Another example. Prabhupada's getting so many, actually, when I wrote Prabhupada a letter, I get an answer very soon. And in ISKCON now, I can write so many leaders, and sometimes they never get an answer at all. My godbrothers don't give me them, like Prabhupada did. I can wait for months and never get, some of my godbrothers can write them and never even get an answer at all. But Prabhupada always answered, even though I was just a Frankenfeld, I always get an answer from Prabhupada. But then there was a new policy, he's getting so many letters. They say, oh, from now on only GBCs, sannyasis, temple presidents, nobody else can write Prabhupada a letter. And I'd gotten so many letters, I had like 6 or 7 letters, and I was devastated. I can't write Prabhupada anymore. Oh, But I couldn't handle it, so what I did, I wrote a letter. And you know what? Prabhupada answered my letter. He reminded me of the new policy, but he said, but if there's any urgent matter, I'm always happy to hear from my beloved disciples. So Prabhupada gave me an exemption to the policy. He said I could write him anytime on urgent need, even though the policy was no one can write except for the big leaders. He told me I could write him whenever I wanted to when I have an urgent matter. I didn't do it anymore, but I knew I could. I knew he'd reciprocate with me if I needed an urgent need, you see. So this is the kind of love that Prabhupada gave to us, you see. And let's look at the verse a little bit more. Yeah, the spiritual master is by nature, very kind towards his disciple. I experienced it again and again and again. I experienced Prabhupada's kindness. No one loved me like that. Therefore, if the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and acquires become perfect. So it's not only a reciprocation of knowledge, a reciprocation of love also. Well, what about those who didn't have any association with the Prabhupada at all? It's like you all. What is your connection? Well, guess what? You have just as much access to Prabhupada right here, right now, as those devotees who are on the morning walk with them. Because Prabhupada is fully present in his books. You open up one of Prabhupada's books, and Prabhupada it's your own personal association, you with Prabhupada together. It's just you and Prabhupada. You have your own private meeting with Prabhupada every time you open up his books. And you say, well, how is that possible? But Prabhupada is fully present in his books. So if you read these books, but I tell my students this, just like when Prabhupada, the Nectar of Devotion was published, Prabhupada said, read it repeatedly. He gave us, his disciples, the order to read Nectar of Devotion repeatedly. I read a chapter every day. It's my own private darshan every day, me and Prabhupada. You see. Well, I would advise all of you, you want to have your own personal meeting with Prabhupada every day? Open up the Nectar Devotion, even 5 minutes for one page, and keep a little marker. And this may go through it page by page. If you can read a chapter, great. If you only read one page, you have to get to work on time or whatever, read one page of Prabhupada's Nectar Devotion and keep your marker. And I guarantee if you do that, new lights will come out. You will enter in another dimension. I guarantee you this, if you read even one page of Nectar Devotion every day, your life will become transformed. You don't believe me? Try it. Just try it, read at least one page every day for Nectar Devotion, keep a little marker, see where you left off, and you'll be absolutely amazed. You're not in Malaysia anymore. You're actually living in the spiritual world. You're not on the planet Earth anymore, you're living in the spiritual world. You, Prabhupada, all the acharyas, Krishna, all of a sudden it's mystical. You don't believe me? Try it. It's a mystical experience to totally open your heart up to hear what Prabhupada's giving you. Actually, Prabhupada said, reading the Nectar Devotion, he said, you're directly associated with Srila Rupa Goswami. Wow! Can you imagine? If you go back 500 years, as you and Rupa Goswami in Vrindavan Dham have a private meeting with Rupa Goswami every day. Wow! And Rupa Goswami is giving you what Lord Chaitanya gave him at Dashameta Ghat. 10 days at Dashameta Ghat, Lord Chaitanya and Rupa Goswami, they were all alone there. Maybe one or two others. But Lord Chaitanya didn't like crowded places. He liked isolated places to do his preaching. So he went with Rupa to Dashameta Ghat in Prayag, and where they have the Kumbh Mela, that area. And he just enlightened Rupa Goswami with transcendental wisdom. Rupa Goswami put his realizations, experiencing Lord Chaitanya for 10 days into Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Prabhupada, he said, if I gave the whole thing, it'd be 1,000 pages. So he gave us a summary study of 400-something pages of Nectar of Devotion. So you read that book, you'll be amazed what will happen to your life. Everything will become perfect. Your relationships, with everything will become perfect just by reading at least one page every day from the Nectar Devotion. So this is the power of the bona fide spiritual master. You see. I was with Prabhupada in Atlanta in 1975, and he told us there's two presences of the spiritual master, Vani and Vapu. Of the two, Vani is more important. Vapu is here temporarily, but Vani is always present. So you can actually feel the presence of your spiritual master. You can feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta, etc., all the way up through the whole succession. You can actually be in the association of all these acharyas in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya simply by carefully reading Prabhupada's books every day. And there's another technique. There's a special mantra you can do to do the same thing. Everybody knows that mantra? How does that go? Oh yeah, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. If you can chant purely Hare Krishna mantra, all the knowledge will be revealed to you. You won't need to read, but you should read also because we're not chanting purely yet. You see? If you chant purely, all the Vedic wisdom is fully revealed to you if you can chant without any offense. Because we're offensive chanters, there we need the books also. So this process is a very incredible thing. It's the most wonderful knowledge. You can it's actually going to transform the whole planet Earth in due course of time. There will come a day when the whole world is actually Krishna conscious by the power of Prabhupada's potency. This whole planet will be Krishna conscious. You see. The Muslims, the Chinese, the Christians, the Jews, the Sikhs, the Jains, the atheists, everybody will be joined together in Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. What's the normal cutoff time? 10:30? What do we tell me? We started late. So let's have some questions. And by the way, if you have any doubts about this process, please share them with me. I love the doubts. I love the doubts. If you have doubts about the process, you have doubts about ISKCON, any doubts are welcome. Any kinds of questions, doubts are also, because, in fact, I have a disciple there in Austin. I call him Mr. Doubt, because he always has the doubts. I love it, because we all have the doubts, we're just too embarrassed to admit them. So he's bold enough to admit his doubts, you see. So if you have any questions, if you have any challenges, if you have any corrections, it's all welcome today. I've come all the way from America to hear what you have to ask me. So please don't waste my time by not just being silent, you see. Let's have some questions. Let's have some questions. Don't be shy.
My question is, in Bhagavad Gita there are 700 slokas. Out of the 700 slokas, Krishna spoke the most. Now, the slokas are written in Sanskrit word. So when we recite the sloka in Sanskrit word, our pronunciation sometimes can go wrong. Even our word language, sometimes we use the wrong word to address someone, they are offended. So during our reciting on these slokas, what will happen if that word is wrong? Do Krishna offended?
So there is 700 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna mostly spoke of them, and sometimes while reciting we can make mistakes, and even in our own language, if we tell some words wrongly, somebody can get offended. So what happens when we recite the Sanskrit and make so many mistakes? Maybe we make so many offenses.
You have a kid who's trying to talk to you, a little kid learning how to talk. His speaking isn't very, but you love it. He's trying to talk, right? You have any children? You ever have any children? Do you have any kids? Do you ever have any children? Are you a father with any children? 4 kids, okay. when they first learned to talk, their pronunciation wasn't very good, was it? But you were so happy they're trying to talk.
No, all grew up. Yes.
Another example is this. Just like in that tape we have every day we play during the greeting, Jamuna Devi is singing, but she mispronounces some of the words. But Prabhupada he loved it because of the mood of bhakti. And he has this played every morning for the greeting of the deities. And her Sanskrit is not perfect, she makes some mistakes. So the mood of bhakti is more important than even now I quoted some verse in this lecture and that I butchered the Sanskrit. I quoted that verse, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Valochanena. I butchered the Sanskrit a few times, but the feeling is more important than paka pronunciation. Krishna sees the feeling, the sincere desire to try to glorify Him and spread His teachings. Okay? That makes sense to you, sir? Or not?
Good to have your presence here.
Thank you.
So the question is, how can we understand Madhurya Ras? For example, especially those who are in the male body, how to understand the type of mood that one should have in Madhurya Ras?
What's the proper mood for hearing?
No, Shlokdev, so especially for males, how to properly understand Madhurya Rasa is like how we should perceive it as a male.
But there's a tendency to jump to Madhurya Rasa without any qualification. It's called Sahajya. We should not try to jump to Madhurya Rasa. How can I feel like a gopi? Just be the sold-out servant of your spiritual master. Those things come at a higher stage. Don't try to feel, I'd like to feel the love of a gopi for Krishna. No, we're not qualified with those things. Just try to be the sold-out servant. Just take the order of your spiritual master as your life and soul. Those things come at a later stage. Doesn't matter male or female. But actually you're not a male anyway. We're all female ultimately. Krishna is Prakriti, Purusha, and we're Prakriti. We're all actually female. Spiritually we're all females here. There's one male and that's Krishna, everybody else is a female. So actually you're a female, Prabhu. But don't try to jump to some Madhurya Ras. I have to feel like a gopi. I want to kiss Krishna, I want to embrace Him. No. Just be the sold-out servant of Guru and Krishna, and all those things come at a higher stage. Right now, you haven't even passed the Nartyanavritti yet. There's different stages. Shraddha, have faith in the process. 2, sadhu sangha, take the association of the sadhus. Number 3, bhajana kriya, take initiation. The Nartyanavritti, that means that all the dirt is washed from your heart. We're not there yet. Can anybody claim they've achieved? Can anybody say, yes, I've already achieved the Nartyanavritti, I have no more material desires? I wouldn't make such a claim. Prabhupada ordered me, he said, in one letter, he said, now, all material desires, zero, whether you can be like that. I wouldn't claim I'm free of material desires. The Nartyanavritti is a very high stage, and you haven't even achieved Nartyanavritti yet. After Nartyanavritti, then there is a Ruchi stage. There's actually Nishtha. You become very fixed up devotee. All material desires are finished, become fixed up, and then you taste amazing taste. The holy name, where Krishna's name is dancing on your tongue, you see. So where you want to have many, many tongues, millions of years. We're not there yet, you see. And then after that you have static emotions awakening in your heart. And then you actually take prema. So that's a very high stage. Prema is a very high stage. We haven't even got to Nartyanavritti yet. We're still working on Nartyanavritti, trying to stage that stage. So those things come, actually, and you get to the asakti stage, then you realize what your rest is with Krishna. And that leads you to bhava and prema. But we haven't got to nartanavritti yet. So just focus on getting all the dirt out of your heart, Prabhu. The lust, the anger, the madness, the greed. Just focus on getting all the dirt out of your heart right now. Don't worry about gopi bhav. Don't worry about the bhav of gopis. Anybody tells you, oh look, in fact in Los Angeles, they had some devotees got together in the old days. They formed the Gopi Bhava Club. They wanted to feel the bhav of the gopis. Prabhupada smashed it. It's a completely bogus thing. So don't try to feel Gopi Bhav, Prabhu. Just try to get all the dirt out of your heart, okay? Hare Krishna. Next.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your nice class. We have a desire to go back to spiritual world is better, or to have a desire to come back next life and do more service and preaching, which is higher?
What is that? What does Lord Chaitanya say? What is it? Janavati Sani. Actually, desire to simply serve Krishna in any world, that's the highest position. Birth, Bhaktivinoda says, birth after birth, give me, O Lord Chaitanya, causeless diversion to your feet divine. Bhaktivinoda prays like that in the Kabbe Habbe Bala. Birth after birth, give me, O Lord Chaitanya, causeless devotion to your feet divine. So the highest position is, I don't require even going back to Godhead to be a devotee. I simply want to serve Krishna birth after birth. It doesn't matter the material world, the spiritual world. However Krishna wants me to serve, that's the highest realization. But you do become qualified to go back to Godhead by coming to that mood. So Prabhupada encourages us that yes, by this process you will go back to Godhead, but actually, here's the insider secret, Prabhu. If you're in that mood of serving Krishna in any condition, in Goloka or Kuala Lumpur or wherever it may be, you're already liberated. You're beyond liberation, you see. See, there's mukti, being liberated, but the highest position is bhakti. In bhakti, one is beyond liberation. When you embrace the mood of bhakti, it doesn't matter whether you serve in Kuala Lumpur or in Goloka Vrindavan, you're already as good as in Goloka Vrindavan. You see. You understand? Yeah. So the desire to go back to God is very good, but ultimately the pure devotee doesn't care. I can serve birth after birth in the material world or in Goloka. It's all the same because bhakti doesn't matter. You can be in Kuala Lumpur, or you can be in New York City, you can be in Goloka. It's all the same when you come to pure bhakti. Does that help? Yeah. How about the ladies over there? The men are asking all the questions. I heard the ladies are very intelligent. I heard that the women are very intelligent. Any ladies have questions? Or we'll go back to the men's side. Yeah? Another question? Cool.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is something that happened. A devotee, a very new devotee, who had a relative, a very close relative, who was about to leave the body. And the faith is not so strong yet, but then when the person was about to leave the body, this person prayed to the Lord, to Krishna, to keep it's a mother, to keep the mother alive. But after the mother died, the person asks me the question, how do we see Krishna's love when I prayed to Krishna and then he took her away? So what's the best way to explain to this person?
I prayed to Krishna to save your mother, and Krishna didn't do what I asked him to do. Krishna didn't do what I asked him to do, so what's wrong with Krishna? Krishna didn't do what I wanted him to do, so what's wrong with Krishna? Well, guess what? You're not God. Krishna is God. And you are not, it's not that we ask Krishna to do something, and if he doesn't do what we say, there's something wrong with him. No, there's something wrong with us. Because our position is with Krishna, whatever you want, I feel to give myself to you. Whatever There's an old saying, whatever Krishna does is all right, you see. If Krishna wants to take her away, Krishna has a plan. When my father was getting ready to leave his body, my wife and I got in the car, and we drove quickly to his retirement home, and he's in total anxiety, his face is full. We started the little kirtan, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and his face became completely peaceful, and he left the world hearing the holy name. So we're not interested in why Krishna doesn't expand someone's life. We want to have a kirtan for them so they get a free ticket to Goloka right away. If somebody hears the holy name while leaving their body, even if they weren't a devotee, but of course my dad liked our movement, he was appreciative of our movement, so my dad must have gone back to Godhead without even practicing Krishna consciousness, because he liked our movement, he appreciated it, he heard the holy name, and he left his body. So we're not interested that Krishna has to do what we say. That means our mentality is backwards. Krishna is not meant to answer our prayers. We're meant to do what Krishna says. Instead of praying, Krishna, give me this, give me that. No, Krishna, give me pure bhakti. That's how we pray. Not, we don't ask Krishna for this thing and that thing. We ask Krishna for pure bhakti. That's how we pray to Krishna. Not, give me a Cadillac, a brand new Cadillac, replete with Michelin tires. Give my wife a new silk sari. Give my kids a Harvard education. Give me a house by the sea. Om Jagadisha. That's not bhakti, you see. That's not bhakti. We pray, Krishna, please bless me, I can be your sold out servant. That's the proper prayer. Okay? Ladies? No ladies? No? Usually ladies have more questions than the men. They're being shy today. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. My question is that for deity worship, if a Shiksha Guru gives you instructions to start deity worship, it is okay?
Well, better check with your Diksha Guru. He's your authority. Siksha Guru is not your authority. Your authority is Diksha Guru. That's the bottom line. Siksha Guru is not your ultimate authority. Your Diksha Guru is the ultimate authority. So better check with, if possible, check with your Diksha Guru. Because otherwise the Siksha Guru is not independent of the Diksha Guru. But it's actually, if you're second initiated and the temple management needs you to do deity worship, go for it. Because deity worship is very good for the consciousness. So the Diksha Guru will advise you, if you're fixed as you're second initiated and you're following rabbinical principles, you should definitely do deity worship. It's very good for you to do. Diksha Guru says. Next. There's one. One of the ladies have a question. Good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for your class. Prabhu, I'd like to ask, how do we practically and tangibly develop humility? Because the false ego keeps coming up all the time, despite chanting, despite devotional services, despite hearing classes, despite getting so many instructions, but it's still a big obstacle in our progress. So how do we practically, in our mind, move forward to bring down this false ego?
Yeah, that's how to develop humility. Lower than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. When my mind attain this quality, bhakti and no praise. Well, the first thing is desire humility. The first thing is desire it. It's intensely desire. Krishna, please bless me, I can become humble. Because that's one of the 6 items given in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. To become humble is one of the items of surrender. If you're not humble, you're not surrendered. You have to be humble to be surrendered to Krishna. So if you desire, do you desire to be humility minded? Do you desire humility, Mataji? You desire it? That's the beginning, desire it. And the second thing is beg for it. Again and again. You can say, my dear Krishna, my dear Gaurnitai, my dear Jagannath, please bless me humility. You can beg for it again and again and again. I do that often because I'm a very puffed up snake, really. So I oftentimes beg for humility myself. Please, I beg for it again and again. I go for the deity darshan. I beg the deities to give me humility because I know I'm suffering right now because I'm a pretty puffed up rascal, actually. So by begging humility again and again, there's a special mantra that helps. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. I find that actually begging for it. Pray to Krishna to give you humility. Pray to your spiritual master to give you humility. You actually beg for it directly along with chanting Hare Krishna. I find it very helpful. Beg for it again and again. And then in your dealings with other devotees, try to be in a mood of service, not in a puffed up mood. When ISKCON is a great opportunity. We have so many relationships, your husband, your kids, all the god brothers, god sisters, your Diksha Guru, Siksha Gurus. We have very, very good opportunity to have so much Sangha, you see. So try to always be respectful and humble in all your dealings with the devotees. A lot of times our false ego gets in the way, isn't it? It flares up like a erupting volcano sometimes. The false ego flares up. Everybody know what I'm talking about? You ever had a false ego flare up like a volcano? I know I have that problem. So you have to understand, I really made a mistake there. Why did I make that mistake? Psychoanalyze yourself and see why you made that mistake and how it happened so you don't do it again. So you can do it by psychological analysis of your own activities and by prayer and by chanting. These things will all help. Here's some pointers. Next. Is that it? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Shila Gurde. My question is, what is Guru's mercy?
What is Guru's mercy?
Guru's mercy is the stick. Actually, the Guru's mercy is encouragement and also his chastisement. Especially his chastisement is the mercy. So he's always there to be chastised by his spiritual master. And that's the best mercy of all, chastisement. Just like Bhakti Siddhanta say, beat your mind with the shoes in the morning 100 times, and the broomstick 100 times at night. So the best chastisement is the best mercy is the chastisement of the spiritual master. Rascal. You rascal. Next question. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. If a devotee is cursing a non-devotee, I'm telling the person you cannot curse, but don't believe. He doesn't believe.
Well, guess what? If you curses bounce back. Curses bounce back. They bounce back on you. See, we're not really qualified to curse. We don't have the power. Formerly the power was there. Shringi cursed Maharaj Parikshit, he had to die. But we don't have the power to curse these days. They don't have that power. So it's a false idea I can curse somebody. We don't have cursing Shakti to even do that. It doesn't even work. But actually when you curse somebody, you're just cursing yourself. So he's cursing himself is all he's really doing, cursing himself. So he wants to do that, he's welcome to do that, but he's going to suffer the reaction for cursing. When he's just cursing himself is all he's been doing. Anything else? Yes. Back there in the red shirt. Red shirt. He raised his hand first. You're next. Blue shirt is next. Red shirt is first.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Prabhuji, my question is, sometimes in my office, so my colleagues and everybody, they used to eat a non-vegetarian food. Okay, and I feel sometimes why these guys are eating non-veg, but I want to explain them that please don't eat sometime, but they told me, okay, you enjoy your food, we enjoy our food. We don't. So sometimes they think like that. So I'm confused whether I should tell them or I should not tell them.
Don't bother preaching them about giving up meat. Just bring some prasadam and share it with them. So whenever they really like and bring them, just bring it to them. Maybe you can give them, find out what they like and give it to them as a loving kindness of you. Let them get a higher taste. Don't worry about their meat eating. Get them hooked on prasadam and they'll forget about their damn meat eating. Try to introduce, just like when I was a worker, I would bring prasadam cookies and put them in the break room so they could have prasadam cookies. And just give them a higher taste. Don't worry about their meat eating.
Okay.
Now this gentleman here, the blue shirt.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's very rare to see Prabhupada's disciple around the world, and we are happy to have you today. We are really glad. But my question is, did you ever, or did Prabhupada ever beat you, or you get beaten by Prabhupada for some reason?
Prabhupada did correct me. He didn't beat me, but he corrected me. He sometimes corrected me for a wrong mentality. Yeah. I asked Prabhupada, can I aspire to become Jagat Guru? And he said, yes, but first become free from all material desires, then think big Vaishnava. So he corrected me. Prabhupada told me, yes, you can aspire to become Jagat Guru, but first become free from all desires and then think big Vaishnava. So I'm working on that for 50 years now, become free from all material desires. So Prabhupada corrected me. He says, yes, you can think about becoming Jagat Guru, but first become free from all material. And then Prabhupada said, whether you can be like that, he challenged me. I said, so yeah, I got corrected by Prabhupada. You can do that, but you're not really ready yet for that. For now become free from all material desires. So that way I got corrected by Prabhupada, yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just 2 days ago, I learned the unfortunate news that there was a temple that was under construction in River Ranch in Durban that collapsed. And a few devotees left their body. So I would like to understand why didn't Krishna protect those devotees who were trying to build like a temple for him, like to serve him? How can we understand that that Leela which Krishna played? How can those affected by this understand what happened?
Krishna had a desire to bring them back to his own abode immediately. He wanted them back in his pastimes right away. Next.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my obeisances, Maharaj. My name is Shama Priya. I have actually 2 questions. One is the materials, the books written by Prabhupada. What is the best method to read them? Is it online or the physical books? And the second one is what will the impact be on the book distribution, assuming the online, people read online? So just your opinion, Maharaj. Thank you.
Both are good. For example, I'm a traveling preacher. So Is it proud for me to carry all of Prabhupada's books in my suitcase and put the whole Bhagavatam set, the Chaitanya? It'd be too much weight. I can't carry that many books. But I do carry the Nectar Devotion with me. So I like both. I'm reading Teachings of Lord Chaitanya on Kindle right now, so online, and I'm reading Nectar Devotion, a hard copy. I like hard copy the best, but it's not practical. But I recommend every devotee should have a full set in their home. Everybody should have a full set of books in their home. So both are good. I prefer the hard copy, but it's not always practical. The result is the same. Whether I'm reading Nectar Devotion, a hard copy, or reading TLC online through my computer, both are beneficial. It's like saying, is it better to hear Prabhupada in person or hear recording? Both are, it depends on the quality of how you're hearing or reading. The medium is not as important as the quality of how are you reading submissively, hearing submissively. The real bottom line is, what is the quality of your reading? Are you absorbing it, or just kind of just skimming over it, not really absorbing it? That's the real bottom line, okay? Next. Last one. Authority said, last one, okay? I surrender to the authority. Prabhupada told me to do whatever the temple authorities say. Direct an order from Prabhupada to me. Do whatever the temple authorities say without questioning whether it's right or wrong. That's how I was ordered by Prabhupada. So the temple authority said, last one, I don't question if it's right or wrong, I just follow. Prabhupada's order. Do whatever the temple authorities say. Direct order from Prabhupada, Sankarshan Das Brahmachari. Do whatever the authorities say. Okay, this is the last one. It was a question that's burning in our heart for many years. It was a burning question. There we go.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, my question is, whenever we read Bhagavad Gita, I tend to believe that I have a proper understanding. But surprisingly, when I read it back, my understanding changes. Which means that every time I read, I doesn't get the same understanding again and again. How can I be sure that I get a proper understanding whenever I read the text?
Well, Prabhupada said, the more you read, newer and newer lights come out. You have the ABC understanding, you see. Then, in other words, you can have the first grade understanding, 1 + 1 = 2. Then you go to algebra, and then trigonometry and calculus. It's all the same science. The more you get into it, you go deeper and deeper into it. So it's good in every level. Just keep reading and reading and reading, and gradually you come to prema. So keep reading, Maharaj. Keep reading. That day will come when you can see Krishna face to face, eye to eye. Let's keep reading. Okay? That's it. It's all over now. But now I want you all to take this as this moment now as the beginning of an ecstatic journey back to the pastimes of Krishna in the spiritual world. Take this movement very, very seriously. Take the Prabhupada's instructions very seriously. Take the instructions of the advanced devotees very, very seriously. And if you do so, my dear Prabhus and Matajis, I guarantee you, absolutely, totally guarantee you, that your lives will become unlimitedly sublime. Thank you very much.